Oh, that's right where I left it. I mean, I unhooked the two wagons, but I drug the beans home last night with the header cart behind it. It's nice and long. Oh yeah, oh. We see that wagon of beans. Got a little sun, that's good. We got a little, one of them little probe fans in there trying to dry it out. Oh, what's today? I don't know. It's like the 10th or something of December. And we're getting ready to see what everybody's been dying to see, but first we're going to look at the header cart, or the grain table on the header cart some more. Oh, wow, what is that? That is the corn head on the 86. It looks kind of funny. It's about like having a 2-row on a Gleaner K. The head is just barely wider than the tire, so much so that we definitely got to fold the ladder up. And we'll see that out in the field. I actually cheated on you guys a little bit. I went out and ran a few rows last night out back because we need something to feed cows. We've been out of corn for probably a month and been cheating by on some ear corn for the cows. This stuff is wet. This is wet, wet, wet. It just feels wet. Hopefully this is enough to grind for the cows. Might be a little short. May have to go back and run a few more rows just for kicks and giggles to make sure we have enough. Well, we weren't playing in the mud too bad. So yep, we tried it out. Time to start it up. Gotta get rolling, go to the field, check oil, grease, all that fun stuff. This a little bit in beans, and I thought we needed this rubber flap here for airflow below the lower sieve. I don't know, but I just had to dig out a bunch of stuff, and I either think my flap is too long or maybe unnecessary. I read in the book that you don't always need it, so I'm going to try to make a pass. Got our handy dandy rubber flap in there, and we'll just see what happens. This may be bad, maybe extra bad, I don't know. There's the clean grain catch off the bottom sieve, and then underneath that is where all the schmutz goes. So we're about to find out just what sort of a mess we can make. One thing I gotta do so we don't plug the clean grain return, because I had that happen. Dirty grain, who am I kidding? So I did that in beans once. We're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff come down, and I might as well leave that open. Hopefully this is just a quick little 30-second debacle. Oh, I gotta try to close this now. Sometimes it can be a challenge to close this little door depending upon where in the cycle the sieves have stopped shaking. We gotta grab our hardware, our wrench, we're gonna go turn it on. I just love how high this head lifts up. Come out and just about hit myself right in the head with that. But I want to show what we wasted yesterday on. So the way these row units mount, we got a box beam that runs the full length. And New Holland made up these cast iron blocks and put bolts instead of just doing a nice U-bolt that wrapped around. Well, the back side looks like this. This nut is welded in place, except on the back side, you can't see the nut. And we had, this row unit had both of the bolts broke off on the back, and this one had a bolt broke off on the back. Well, I managed to break 2 easy outs, came real close on a third, broke a bunch of drill bits, and finally we got these broken off bolts out. Finally. After breaking lots of things, lots of patience, and just pretty much turning them into metal shavings is what we did on these two. The one over here came out okay. So I really wish they could have just put an extra, I don't know, $20, $30 in metal in each one of these to make more room, and just use a loose bolt, so when the bolt breaks, you just have a hole and you can put a whole new bolt nut in. Minor detail, but it ended up wasting all day yesterday. So I got that rubber flap out. We're gonna turn it on just to clean out the sieves. And then we're gonna go make a pass in the corn to see if that makes the corn any cleaner, dirtier. Corn's not that dirty, corn's pretty clean. It's nice and yellow back there. Okay, turn on the insides. Don't hear any ratcheting noises, so we didn't plug the auger on the return. Like I said, I did that in beans because I just shoved all that material down there with it not running. I don't have to go outside and close the bottom of the elevator trough. Okay, we're up to speed. All lights went off. That's good. We're letting it run, we're letting it run. Sure, that's got to be enough. Let's hop out and check what we got. Well, obviously that was going to happen, but if I didn't do that, we would somehow had managed to plug like right there if I didn't run it empty. That's just going to slug it with a lot of material. Come on. Another fun fix we had, which is still there. We got some good old stainless patch because it rusted a little bit, and then we've got this rubber strap plugging the hole. That was an interesting patch, but we had to put in that screening section. It had solid ones. I think this was originally a wheat machine. I need to find the screens for the bottom of the elevators. It gets the fines and stuff out. Okay, let's go try some corn, see what happens real quick. Then I gotta dump this corn so Dad can grind feed for the cows. Okay, where do you guys want to ride? How's that view? I'll watch the corn head. Turns. Oh yeah, that works. Let's open up the rotors a little bit too. We're still getting cob pieces. We don't need cob pieces. Now, we plant 38s, and this head is kind of set on 36s. That's a little annoying at times. Oh, especially right there, and I go a little sideways. We're not sinking in too bad. And we're taking in a little bit of material. Just because I'm running the head so low in case there's anything that's knocked down, trying to get underneath it, saying we tried. So we got to run a lot of stock through the head, like run it down, and sometimes it just breaks it off, just because we're trying to run 3 foot of stock through. Those ears are pretty high up. This is a dual-purpose silage variety that does fairly well for grain. We're running into the moisture issues because when we planted, we didn't have rain for 2 weeks. Did I complain? Absolutely not, but some of it didn't germinate so quick. One thing that's driving me nuts right now is there's these drought monitor reports floating around on the internet, and they put it on the TV this morning, and I wanted to fart in their face. Like, that's a load of shit. I don't want to hear anything about drought from Thanksgiving until April, because it ain't so around here. It never will be so. You've seen the ground, you've seen me make ruts. Half of our rutting problem is tillage. You keep the soil loose on top, but that's the only way to get the roots to go down a little bit. Oh, I get to the end here, we'll turn around and show off our handiwork. I guess it's not leaning so much, we couldn't keep the head a little higher. We have the face plate on the feeder house tilted all the way back. At least to me, compared to the old 960 head for the TR70, these heads are much lower profile, and the way the throat mounts up to the head is, I don't know, much less angled, something. I don't know how to describe it. But if not, if I left it where I had it set for beans, the corn head would be tipping very far forward right now. Okay, that's kind of where we were to the corner here. I didn't even put the ladder up, and I guess we'll see how much corn I knocked over by not lifting up the ladder. That's not good. Well, for not picking up the ladder, I forgot about that. The corn looks like it's standing, so we weren't sliding too bad. That looks pretty clean for not having that diverter flap. So we may leave that flap out. I'm happy with what's coming out now. Don't need that going. Of course we backed up, so we won't see much corn coming out. There is some pieces, and that's more of a moisture problem. And I need to make it bigger. We're still getting halves a cob. So we need to open the rotor up more, as long as we're getting it off. Well, we're gonna go back and dump this, and then head to some other field with drier corn. Okay, so what are we doing in the Quonset? Well, we got corn back there, and we have a wagon. It's a wagon I borrowed from Bandit, and when I borrowed it, he warned me about one of the tires wasn't in good shape. Well, it went flat on me. So I have the tire out getting fixed. But if things go well today, we may need all the wagon. So I have it set up inside on blocks, a nice oak stump, and we're gonna try to swing the auger indoors so we can put some of this corn in that wagon, and Dan will be able to get in here and grind. So let's see if we can swing the auger indoors. Party foul. Major party foul. We don't have the height. Right there, we're about to hit. That's not good. So we're gonna go down with that. See, if the wagon was sitting on this side, I could have backed in. Oh, this could be problematic. Well, just made it work. The auger just reaches over the wagon, and I am like right up to the roof wall of the arch. So, I'm gonna turn it on. I think this auger works like the 70s, where it'll work at any angle. It better. If not, we'll just break a shear bolt. Okay, here's the lever. Let's see what happens. I didn't close the door of the wagon. Nothing's sounding too cacophonous or breaking. That ash stump will probably hold good. We have corn going in, we have corn leaving. Of course, the wobbling of the auger doesn't make anybody feel too safe. But this is how you keep the good wagons with wheels ready to roll. I mean, I had to pull the wagon away from the barn. Like that back corner of the wagon you can see is really close. While this front one, I had to use a TC and a little bit of chain, lift it up and drag it sideways a couple feet to make this work. Now, if the wagon was parked along this wall, I could do it, but then we wouldn't be able to get the grinder in here to get it out. I think I'm happy with taking that rubber flap out. You do see those pieces of cob. That's from last night, which I didn't know any better about what I was doing. We only need like 80 bushel to grind a batch of feed. There's what should be well over 100 in here. So that'll take care of our grinding needs. Like I said, this is wet. This feed won't keep long, but at least it's December, so that'll be good. We're starting to pile up there in the corner. I may have to jump in. That's the only bad part is I'm putting all the weight right there where there's no tire. Hopefully it flows out well enough. That's a big wagon. That's like a 200 bushel wagon or more. I made it work. I don't know if Dad's impressed, but this is kind of what he wanted. It was his suggestion to put the corn in this wagon. Well, I made it work. A slight head nod, light approval. Well, that's not my corn. That's somebody else's corn, but what does that mean? I'm not the only one with corn still out in this area. Yep. I think that might have been replanted too because of dryness or I don't know what. But, yep, we're not the only ones. So that's fantastic.